Welcome back, CSE 3200 Yukon Stores. We're in Chapter 15, where our objective is simple. We are going to add what's called a menu item to what's called the app bar. And that's going to allow us to add a new crime when we click it, and we'll have to take care of the navigation as well. But take a look at the diagram up here. The default app bar is shown at the top. It's always been there. It has a name, the criminal intent 2 in this case, and it has a theme as well, default for newer versions of phones, set to day-night so that you have two different color options depending on what time of day you're looking at your phone. And I believe these are the default colors, purple 200, 500, 700. The purple 200 looks like a lightish purple, and the other two versions of purple actually look blue. You can change those colors, by the way, and probably in class I will show you how. Let's see. If you took a look at the Gradle and you found the two lines up there, they were already there, and that's what allowed us to have the app bar by default. But also, why we're getting it is that we are always extending, again by default, this code is there whenever the generic application launches, that we are extending app compat activity. And that's short for application compatibility, and it just, among other things, has features that allows us to have a consistent look and feel across the different devices. So we are going to add our menu item, as I said. The menu item is going to go up here. This is the space that's reserved for menu items, the top right. We are also going to add an icon for that. It's going to be the plus sign. So let's take care of that now. So one of the first things we want to do is to make a string resource for our new crime. This resource will, the text will only be seen sometimes, you'll see, when there's room for it. We'll have code set up for showing it only when there's room for it. String name is equal to, and this is going to be called new crime. And the text that we are going to use is going to be the same, but in all caps. New crime. Okay, then we want to make a new file for our menu. We are going to, there we go. So let's right click on the resource file, go new Android resource file, and we are going to call this fragment underscore crime underscore list, and change the resource type to menu. And just like a layout file or a nav graph, what we're going to get is a kind of a layout type of menu. See up here we have code, split, and design. Let's see. So we are going to go into code and add a fair bit of code. We are going to put in a namespace, XML namespace, and we actually have an extra option here in the menu, but I believe we are picking the res auto, which we have picked before. Oh, and I don't see the extra option either. Okay, so maybe we just have the same amount of options as we do in other layout folders. And then we are going to create an item. Let's get this backed up. Now this is going to have an error for a while until I get about the third attribute in there. Android :ID is equal to, in double quotes, you know how it goes, plus ID _, and the the ID will be new crime, just like the text will be new crime. And we will go Android icon. Oh, we need to add this icon. We haven't done that yet, so we'll do that next. Let's see, @drawable. I don't have it yet, so this is going to show up incorrectly. But when we make it, we will call it IC underscore menu underscore add. So it shows up red because I haven't made it yet. Android title is equal to @string / new crime. And if I didn't have that error here, I believe item would have not had the error any longer once I got the title in. Let me go and change that now. Let me get this icon in. We're going to go to Resource Manager, hit the plus sign and a vector asset. Click on the clip art here. And we are going to, if you search plus, you're not going to find it. Search add. And it is right here. Select that, and we are going to change this to, let's see if I can move this. We want it to be IC menu add. IC underscore menu underscore add. The rest is fine. Even the black color, because one of the things that our @compat activity does for our app bar is it makes it tintable. So it'll be tinted to the color set in our theme. In this case, I believe it's going to show up as white and not the black that you see here. So we're going to go next, and we can finish. And yep, that error is taken care of. All right, one more, and I wanted to have that error out of the way because there's a little bit to talk about here. When we go show as action, we have a number of choices here. Let me hide this so I have a little bit of room. All right, so always is not recommended. If you set it to always, then it's, well, should always show up, obviously, but what if there's not enough room? What if you have a lot of menu items? So probably use that one sparingly. Never is actually okay. What if you have something that you are rarely going to use? Then what's going to happen if you set it to never is that it's going to go into the overflow menu, which is the 3 dots. Let's see if this will show up. Not quite. There, it shows up now. So the 3 dots that you would see, you see this on the internet up in the right-hand corner because you've always got lots of extra options to choose from. This is called the overflow menu. And there was another option there. I forget what it was exactly, but it is used for if there isn't room, put it in the overflow menu. If there is room, then actually show it. We are going to use if room and pipe that together with text. So our next task is to start inflating the menu. We're going to go into crime list fragment, and after the on destroy view, actually I think I put it before the on destroy view, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to have some code here that is deprecated. Did not realize this until I started to code this just this week, but it's been deprecated since I started the course. So override fun on options menu. I missed the S, but let's see if we can select this. Okay, so the it is deprecated, and at first I just commented out that line and it worked, and I'll actually do this for you. Inflator.inflate and then r.inflate. menu dot fragment crime list. Okay. An actual error. The book says that this line of code wasn't even necessary, just a matter of convention. So I comment that out. I still have the error. Okay. I'll double check it later, but the idea was that we were going to be calling the set has options menu, and instead of this line doing the work that we need, it was the set has options menu method. So we're going to go override fun on create, and then saved instance state bundle. All right, and braces, and then we have to go, in this case, super dot on create saved instance state. That is required. But then I did set has options menu, and at this point I was like, uh-oh, because even though the line above was deprecated, it wasn't necessary. This one also is deprecated and was what's supposed to be doing our work for us. I've got an error here, and I actually have an onCreate. Not sure why, because the only thing it does is call the super onCreate. But let's just cut this guy here and send it to the top where I have my onCreate, which is, see, not really being used for anything. All right. So I have the set has options menu, and this says, surround with a widget, add names and comments to call arguments. Okay, we're going to ignore that. And we still have this error down here. Let me double check it. All right, I see it, and actually I do recall that I had this error before and forgot to put in a second argument for menu. Okay, so it is deprecated, and it's very recently deprecated, but I found that it actually works. So let's take a look. All right, so here I see my new menu item. I could click on it, but okay, there I actually saw a press, but we have not set it up to do anything, not to navigate anywhere. We just basically have the physical specimen in there, but I want to show you that if I rotate this, and pretty sure I have auto rotate set up. So let's try this again. Feels like it's trying to rotate. Okay, so I got it to rotate, and notice that when there was room, we not only get the icon, which had room, without the words, but we get the words as well. Oh, and that plus sign doesn't show up as white. It's actually showing up as black. That's interesting. All right, so I think I'm going to leave this video here. Feels like a good spot. We got the graphics set up, but we need to get the code going. Let's get that going in a separate video, and I'll see you there.